Welcome to this episode of the Rounder podcast, where we're going to discuss something which is really, really fascinating, and that is how Pilates can help 50-year-old women heal their spinal problems. And we have Ray here, who is a Pilates instructor, a chartered physiotherapist, among many other things, who basically is going to answer some questions that you've sent in regarding how Pilates can help with the spine. So I'm going to get straight on and ask the first question. And that is, why did Joseph Pilates say you're only as young as your spine? And this hit me really hard when I saw that, because I just realized that my spine actually is really not
Yeah.
that young.
So if you have ever woken up in the morning, like we're both in our 50s now, so we know what it feels like to be 20, 30, 40, and 50. And if you've ever woken up in the morning and felt like you've been hit by a truck, you know that you feel creaky. It's really hard to get out of bed. It's hard to turn over in bed. And so our spine has got these lovely curves in it. And if we start to lose those curves, or some of the curves become accentuated, then you start to get discomfort. You start to get stiffness. You start to get impingement. Things aren't working particularly well. We also need to make sure that we hydrate our fascia, we lubricate our discs, we keep the muscles nice, long, supple, and strong. And I find as a physiotherapist that people can come and have body work, but unless they build strength, they still maintain their discomfort a lot of the time. Like treatment will last a certain length of time, but strength lasts an awful lot longer. And so, if we think about the spine as our central channel, and there's a canal in the middle of each of the vertebrae. And the vertebrae are just like little building blocks with a little hole in the middle, and all the nerves come up and down. And if you start to compress those nerves, you start to get pain signals, as you know yourself. It can affect your organs, it'll affect your muscles, it'll affect how you move. And so, if we can keep that central channel really nice and healthy and strong, um, those nerves aren't going to be talking to us quite so much. We're going to be feeling an awful lot better. If you also think about the spine, is this, so if we think of it as this lovely column of little bricks, and then we've got this massive head on top which weighs between 12 and 15 pounds. And then if you look at older people, or people who sit at a desk, and this head's coming forwards, and the spine's trying to hold everything up, so muscles are actually doing work that they shouldn't be doing, then they get fatigued and tired. And if you've got fatigued, tired muscles, you're going to get an awful lot of stiffness and
Mm.
discomfort, and it's your body's way of saying to you, we can't do this anymore, something needs to change. And Joseph Pilates learned very early on that if you align your joints, if you align your spine and you get your core working, so this is a really, really, really nice, strong spine, then everything, your appendages and your head, can move off it much more easily.
Mm.
So everything's in balance. And I also think that if you look at your face and you've got some wrinkles on your face, you're going to have internal wrinkles as well. And we know that if you look at these wrinkles, the tissue isn't moving quite so well. So if that's not moving so well on the surface, things aren't going to be working so well on the inside. So yeah, I think that it was a lovely quote that he used, and it's very true. And you can be 20 and have terrible posture and feel absolutely horrendous, or
Mm.
you can be 80 and have the most amazing posture and feel absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And if I look at my range of patients I've got young people and I've got people up in their 80s. The 80-year-olds that are out walking and are ramrod straight move so beautifully. And if you see them walking away from you, see them from behind, you wouldn't know what age they were, because they're just moving supplely.
Mm.
Everything just works particularly well. I mean, I've got one lady who's a neighbour as well, and I saw, I saw her walking down the road with her dog. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was one of my other neighbours who was 50, and there would be 38 years difference between them.
Wow.
I was absolutely, and because she's so fit, she's really aware of her posture. Her spine's always nice and straight. She's actually been doing chair Pilates for the last 6 months. It's made quite a difference to her. So,
Mm.
without banging on about it too much, if your spine is happy, generally the rest of you will be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that women in particular over 50, they carry a lot, and that has something to do with
Yeah.
them being sort of hunched and tight? Because I'm pretty sure that's why I have all my problems in my shoulders and my neck. It's because
Yeah.
I'm kind of tight and hunched against the world in a way. So
Well, absolutely. I
my
mean, we could
shoulders go up.
manage all that stress and that busyness in our 20s and our 30s. As hormones change, we know that we get a little bit more anxiety. We can't juggle quite so many balls mentally or emotionally. And our shoulders end up being around here, because whenever you rush, where do your shoulders go? They go
Mm.
up here. If you think about, I'm just going to turn around now. I hope you can see. If we get our shoulders up, we're congesting the back of the neck
Mm.
and the base of the skull. So the nerves that are coming out of there are getting quite congested, compressed. They're not going to be as healthy. We've got the vagus nerve that comes out through that area, and that's looking at our fight, flight, or rest and digest. And so if we can go from here to here and then create the strength in our core, shoulder blades where they should be, you actually become nice and strong and much more aware of your posture. Your neck's nice and long, everything's moving much, much better.
Mhm.
And I do think that as women, there's a huge expectation for us just to keep going at the level that we did, that we put on ourselves as well. And Dr. Mindy Peltz was talking recently about the study that had been done about boys and girls from the age of 10, 11, 12, 13. Girls continue to be people pleasers whilst boys tend to grow out of it. And they're very different by the time they're the age of 13. And I think that a lot of us women try and keep everyone happy, especially if you've got kids, you're nurturing, you're bringing up all the time. And even though your kids grow, you know yourself, that doesn't change now that you're 51 and your boys are getting a bit older. You just continue to want to nurture and look after.
Mhm.
And the shoulders come up. Yeah. And so I
Yeah.
think that the thing about I love about Pilates, and you'll see this in our press play Pilates, you go into the rest position, you align everything before you start the movement. It starts to teach you a beautiful, healthy way of getting yourself in position to then go out and face the world.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, because one of the things I've been learning about is how a lot of women, we're just not in our bodies. We're so busy
No.
thinking about stuff that we're not even
Yes.
aware. Like I was at my desk doing some editing the other day, and I must have had one of my legs twisted underneath the other.
Yeah.
And I went to get up, and I literally was in so much
Did you hit
pain
the deck?
because I was just like, I literally couldn't move my leg. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to
Because
cry.
we're in our heads, aren't we?
Yeah, and I literally did not know that I'd literally twisted my
Yes.
leg all out of like a comfortable position for way too long, and it literally took about 10 minutes of like literally getting it straight, holding it, letting it down.
And
I'm so
we're
glad I can
juggling
talk.
so much. So we're out here thinking about that. We're out there thinking
Yeah,
about
and
that.
so we don't know.
We're rarely in our, and it's about coming back and centering. And something that I mentioned in the little course that we're releasing is that you've got your central line here, but you've also got the center line that is kind of lower here. So like the middle of your body, if you think about if we fold in half and stuff, but coming back and centering ourselves brings everything back into your body and
Mm,
grounds you really nicely. And I was reading a book last night, and one of the techniques, it was a shamanic book actually, but they have these lovely natural ways of helping you. And it was saying, whenever you feel emotional, put your thumb on your chest around where your heart is and just say, return to neutral. And I can't do it in my voice, return to neutral, Rachel. And it's almost like I have this little reminder now just to come back in, regroup, pause, and then carry on.
mm,
It's just a lovely little reconnecting thing. But
yeah.
yeah, I think that too
Mm.
much.
Yeah, yeah. I've been doing some breath work, and I've noticed that when I've done like 10 minutes of breath work, my shoulders are like completely different. They're like
Mm.
down, and
You
also breath
have been,
work
because look at
gets
your
you.
shoulders now. They're
Yeah,
much better,
I've been
aren't
doing
they?
breath work every day, and
Well done.
it's crazy good for all the tension in my neck and shoulders.
Yeah.
And it makes you present because you're concentrating on your breathing, so you're
Yeah.
in your body, and then you can, you become aware of your posture. Anyway, we have
We
digressed.
have. Yes, I know,
Okay,
sorry.
so what actually happens to our spine over 50, do you think? What is it that causes all these problems? What are we doing, and why does it cause these problems? Because I think mine have come on
Yeah.
quite sort of suddenly in terms of
Yeah. Well, look, we have the whole hormonal thing, which just expedites everything. But I think also if you haven't been feeding yourself properly, so whatever you put into yourself is going to create your body. Whatever you put in is going to heal you, it's going to create ease or disease. We've got our hormones. So we also know that whenever your hormones change, you can have things like bone thinning, your osteoporosis, osteopenia. And if you haven't been strengthening your body, or strength and flexibility, suppleness training, then your body just becomes quite old and crunchy. And certainly, and if you're not hydrating yourself, you become crunchy as well. So you only have to look at dehydrated skin on the outside to think, well, what's that doing to us on the inside? So I think whenever you get to 50, you can't recover quite so well. It takes longer. So I find now I can't exercise. My attitude to starting exercise can't be what it was in my 30s and my 40s, because if I go in with that mindset of, oh, I haven't done anything for a while, I'm just going to push, 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 I'm sore for days. Which is why whenever I developed this little Pilates challenge, I've taken it really slowly. And it might seem very slow, but actually it's going to allow your body to catch up with the strengthening that it needs to do.
Mm.
And so I think that we need to do more repetition. Whenever we go and we do our stretches, we mustn't try and feel a deep stretch, because our bodies don't like it quite so much. They take longer, they're slower to respond. So yeah, I think whenever you get to 50, a lot of people, it just completely messes with your head, because you're like, I'm putting on weight. I can't exercise like I did. I don't have the energy. My bandwidth is shorter. I just want to scream at everyone. And where do you start?
Yeah.
So that's the time just to pause and go, let's come up with a plan, slow things down, give ourselves 3 months to get fit, as opposed to thinking we can do it in a month.
Yeah. Because I find if I make these massive, great big commitments, the pressure of it just it
Oh,
derails me and I never
and then
start.
no, and the knee-jerk reactions, it's just a case, okay, let's nurture ourselves a little bit,
Yeah.
acknowledge that we are a little bit older now, and that's okay. But I have to say that, so I've had a really complete turnaround of my attitude since I've been doing this, because I have hurt myself a couple of times by overstretching, doing things too much, being a little bit gung ho, and I've just pulled myself back. And my body feels so much stronger and so much happier and easier since I've been planning the Pilates classes and practicing what I'm preaching. Yeah, and my posture is so much better. And you've been saying, you look really well. You look really
Yeah.
well. What are
Yeah.
you doing? What's different? And I'm like, what?
Yeah. I
But it's
think it's
just
posture.
slowing down, being a little bit kinder to myself, and just going, do you know what? This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
also, I think you said to me, what does 80-year-old Rachel need to do? What does 80-year-old Randa need to do? And I just think, what if I look at that now, that's made such a difference to my approach. I'm not actually trying to think about what does 51-and-a-half-year-old Rachel need. I'm thinking it's now
Mm.
longevity. It has to be
Yeah.
longevity now,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
I was in Sainsbury's yesterday and I saw an old woman and she was so hunched over. I don't know how she could see straight. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to
Yeah.
do Pilates. I've got to fix my neck because
Yeah.
that is going to be me. And yeah, yeah, it makes you look so old. And like it's the opposite, isn't it? Like you see your friend
Yeah.
who looks 50 from behind.
I
Maybe
know.
she wasn't even that old, but her neck looked 100,
Yeah. Yeah.
Not good. Okay, so I've got another question for you.
Sure.
Why is Pilates so good for the spine, as opposed to other exercises?
Okay, so whenever you do Pilates, we are starting with getting your core strong. And people think of the core as like, let me turn this down, I might just sit up a little bit higher. People think of their core as up here, and their six pack, but actually it's much lower. So we've got the diaphragm at the top, the pelvic floor at the bottom, and then at the front we've got the transversus abdominis, and then we've got some little muscles called the multifidus muscles at the back, and that creates this most beautiful cylinder of strength. And you've got a lovely little video, haven't you, with a
Yeah,
nice
done a
infographic
picture
of
of it.
that.
Yeah.
And so we start with getting this strong, and then we use our arms and legs off it to challenge ourselves a little bit more and start to get a little bit of independent movement. But you can only do that and progress if you get this right. We
Mm,
add the breath as well. We layer on the breath to add fuel to that strengthening to create even more power. We're thinking about alignment all of the time. So what's happening at your core? Where's your pelvis? What's happening at your ribs? Where are your shoulder blades? And we bang on about this a lot. Get your shoulders down, get yourself connected. But actually, if you keep layering on those different things, you get strong at the front, you get strong at the back, you get strong in the middle, you get strong around the ribs, and your neck gets long. And that makes such a difference to spine health, because if you're always going back into alignment, you're basically putting youth back into your body each time. So where you might be rubbing or congesting a little bit more in one area, you take all that pressure back off and you basically just clean things up in your body. And then
mm,
your body can heal. So I keep saying, this Pilates is therapeutic. This Pilates is healing. It's going to take your tight, hunched over shoulders and it's going to say to the muscles at the back, come on, strengthen up the muscles at the front. Come on, lengthen back out. Let's get you where you need to go. Um, and I think I said to you earlier, I've had awful shoulder pain for probably about, well, definitely 2 years, because it came on 2 years ago. I went from working here to working up here. My shoulders didn't like it, but it's been significantly painful for the last year. I've had some treatment on it, and that helps a little bit. But I now find that if I lie on it at night, I waken up and I'm like, "Arr, arr, arr," because it's so uncomfortable. And if I then lie on the other side, and try and move. I'm like, what's my shoulder going to do? But I did some postural Pilates about 5 days ago, and I've been really aware of my posture in the Pilates videos I've been making and in life. I haven't had shoulder pain in 3 days. Now, I'm
Great.
not saying that that's going to be everyone, but what
Mm.
I'm saying is that just by improving my posture, getting a little bit stronger, that my shoulders gone, do you know what? We just needed to change the alignment slightly to start rubbing and impinge, to stop the rubbing and impingement and to strengthen up those tiny little muscles in the shoulder. So, yeah, I think that Pilates is medicine for the body.
Yeah.
Like, I love yoga. I absolutely love yoga. But I think that if you want to do something that's going to put stability back in your body and get your hip muscles and your shoulder muscles and your neck muscles and your back muscles and your tummy muscles in the right place so that you can then move and flow through life much better, is going to be Pilates. The other thing that we do, there are a few Pilates principles. So we're talking about connection, we're talking about breathing, but we also talk about flow, about precision. And if you have flow and precision and connection and core stability, you are only going to heal.
Yeah.
And then we flow through life like those lovely, children, teenagers who just, they're not crunchy. They're just
Mm.
flowing and everything's free and easy and fun.
Yeah.
And you start to feel fun.
Mm.
You start to feel fun and youth in your body again.
Yeah. So basically, Pilates is just coming at you from all angles: the breath,
Yeah.
the alignment,
Yeah.
the strength,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's really, from what I've discovered from finding all the Joseph Pilates quotes,
Yeah.
it's really intelligent, isn't it?
So
He spent his
intelligent.
whole like life like figuring
Yeah.
out what heals the body.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the slower you do the movement and think about what's my core doing? Am I being precise? I'm concentrate. It's incredibly mindful. It's a real mind body connection. As what's my
Mm.
flow like, or am I juddery? You're actually making you're just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think that we need to stop thinking we need to be fast. We need to be, boom, boom, boom. We need to layer on the weights. If you slow things down, you think about your precision and your flow. You're going to build the most beautiful strength, and you're going to build it incredibly quickly. So 5 really good pure repetitions is going to be a lot better than 20 rubbish ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that the other thing that I would say about Pilates is, and I say this to everyone, and I'm really trying to live by it at the minute, is if you get your Pilates principles and you think, what's my core doing? What are my ribs doing? What are my shoulder blades doing? And where's my neck? And then do every other workout, every other activity or daily living, you're just going to keep building strength. So
Mm.
everything becomes a strengthening opportunity. Everything becomes a healing opportunity. Everything becomes a mindful opportunity. We are less out here and we're more in control and centered in our life.
Mm. Yeah,
It's,
and
yeah,
yeah, and the more you talk about it, because obviously I haven't done it yet, the more you talk about it, the more I think. See, I have always rejected it in favor of yoga because I think
I
yoga is
know.
very
Yeah.
spiritual, and I
Well,
feel lovely, and
yeah,
I'm not
but
going
it
to pull
makes your
any.
brain feel
But
lovely. Yeah,
I can have
absolutely.
both, and we're going to do some yoga lattes, so we do get both.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
I mean, yoga has been the most wonderful thing that I've discovered for many years now, and I would definitely gravitate towards yoga. But Pilates is incredibly grounding and centering and connecting. And I think that it's definitely worth having a little bit of Pilates in
Mm.
everyone's life. I know I sound a bit preachy, but yeah, I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, well, we're gonna. That's the whole point of your challenge,
It's
isn't it? Is
balance. Have a
you?
little bit of this, a little
Yeah,
bit of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like literally like a taster, isn't it? A taster of
Yeah.
it. No pressure, only 10 to
No.
15 minutes a day,
Yeah.
gradual, ramping up of
Yeah,
everything.
and the thing about this Press Play Pilates is that on that Facebook page, that stuff's going to be there for as long as Facebook's there. So we're going to leave it there. It's
Mm,
free. You can go back and do whichever video you like as many times as you want, but
yeah,
you've got everything set up. So you've got the warm up and you've got the cool down, and then you've got 14 videos that are progressive. And it's always in your back pocket, then, isn't it?
yeah, and you've done all those pre-lessons as well, so that
Yeah,
before
yeah,
you
yeah,
even
yeah.
start the videos, you've got
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
basics
Takes
down, so you're not
all the
overthinking
confusion out.
anything.
No, and
Yeah,
actually, it's been really lovely to do them because, you know, I I can get confused about things quite easily. And so if people say, "Well, we connect this or and do this," and I'm thinking, "But are you talking about the same thing? Because I'm sure you're talking about the same thing." And that's where we've taken the
yeah,
mysticism out of it all.
yeah.
Yeah, total
So
clarity.
yeah, so before you even start, you'll know how to get into the rest position,
Yes, Why do we
what
get in
the
the
next,
rest
yeah.
position? If you want to start strengthening, basically, just hold the rest position and just think about your alignment for like 5 minutes.
All right, one last question. So I'm going to go for this one. How can women? So, how long does it take before women will start to feel different if they are integrating Pilates like a couple of times a week?
I've taken 3 days. Oh my God, that was so preachy, wasn't it? But I've taken 3 days. I've taken 3 days, and my shoulder's feeling better
Yeah.
already.
So
Okay.
it's quick.
Um, yeah, I think the thing as well is whenever you start to get these muscles working as they should be, your brain goes, Hallelujah. This is what I've been trying to tell you for years. This is how we're built. We're going back to the blueprint that we were born with. So your body will just go, yeah, we now know how to use it. All you're trying to do is remind your brain what it has always been trying to,
Mm,
remind you that you should be doing. And yeah, I think that you'll get off the mat feeling better immediately. And if you try and be consistent, you will notice a massive difference in the first week, in the 14 days. But what was it? Joseph Pilates said you'll feel a difference in 10
yeah.
sessions. You'll notice a difference
Yeah.
in 20 sessions, and in 30 sessions, you'll have a completely new body.
New body.
And
Yeah.
that's what it's trying to do, is it's trying to build this strong, flexible body that the right side is working as well as the left side. It's making you aware of,
Mm,
where maybe you're tight and where maybe you're
yeah.
you're weak. And so yeah, you'll notice a difference just getting off the mat. But I think that just keep yourself accountable and see how good you can feel.
Yeah, and I suppose it depends what particularly challenge you're facing. Like if, like
Yeah,
you've got a shoulder problem and it's because everything's slightly out of alignment, and that's
yeah.
causing the muscles to work really hard to keep it
And
balanced.
it's just getting congested and just
Yeah.
impinging a little bit. Yeah. So
Yeah, so we're all going to be on our own journey with it, but we're going to be moving in the
yeah,
right direction. And
yeah.
yeah, we should have started Pilates 20 years ago, but the next best time to start is like on
Now.
Sunday when we kick off.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're going to have you back. It's totally free.
yeah.
We've got it all set up just to make it super easy for you. And we're even, because I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm going to provide a nice like hypnotherapy angle to it where you can just listen to this hypnosis that I'm going to create specifically for the challenge, and you listen to it every day, and it's going to like get through some of the men, because I find that I know exactly what I've got to do, and I say I'm going to do it, and I talk myself out of it and I don't do it, and then I feel terrible about myself, and then I just go through this horrible cycle of just
Yeah.
not getting anywhere. Whereas if
Yeah.
we can just get through some of those blocks
Yes.
using our sort of subconscious rewiring and
Yes.
hypnosis,
Absolutely.
it will support you. So that will be in the Facebook group, and if you want a downloadable MP3, then you just give me your email and I'll send it over.
Absolutely. And as a physiotherapist, having tried to find a lot of this stuff on YouTube to send my patients, this challenge is filling the gap that I couldn't find. And there is something there for everyone. And it's physio led, it's very safe, it's therapeutic, it is supposed to be healing. And you might find that you watch the pre videos over a cup of tea, have a bit of a practice, and you
Mm.
might stay on video one
Yeah.
for a week, and that's okay.
Yeah, and we've got the
And
live
then yeah,
calls. We've got a
yeah,
live call, kick-off call. We've got a mid-challenge call at the end of the
yeah,
first week, and we've got a wrap-up call. And
yeah,
we'll be in the group all the time, so you can ask the questions. I'm a
yeah,
GP, so you can ask me questions if you have any specific
absolutely.
physical problems.
Yeah,
Ray is, a very experienced physiotherapist, among other things. So you've got access to us.
yeah,
It's completely free. We're not going to try and sell you anything. You have our guarantee on that. Is literally just a 14-day challenge for us to
yeah,
all get on the Pilates train. We would
yeah.
love a testimonial. That's all we'll ask. If you get benefit out of it, leave us a testimonial. That's it.
And I would just say that if you don't know where to start, just get yourself on the group and just start watching the videos,
Yeah.
because it is then seamless and dead easy after that. So we're there to hold your hand. All you have to do is just
Press play.
press play.
Magic. All right. So that is our episode. Thank you
Yeah,
very much for listening. We appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you in Press Play Pilates. I'm going to put the
excellent.
link to join at the bottom, and you just click it, and you come straight in. That's
Perfect.
it. All right. Bye. Take care. See
Bye.
you later. Bye.